My name is Carl Joshua Ncubes and I'm the CEO of a startup called Ekhaya. Tourism Ekhaya is actually a rural development company or think tank, and I'm happy to introduce you to what is going to be a brand new podcast that shows how we're aligning our company to the sustainable development goals as set by the United Nations. So we're really going to talk about the business of solving problems within the rural context. So remember to follow our podcast and download it. Give us your tips, ideas. Let us know where you'd like us to deploy the podcast, and we'll join you on March the 31st for Rural Life with Carl Joshua Ncubes. In the meantime, this week we're talking about building our little cob structure. So my strategy here would be to build an outdoor kitchen using cob material. So cob is basically a combination of clay, soil, and grass with water. We mix it to a consistency that you're able to mold and basically just build any kind of structure, create organic shapes. In this case, what we did is we tried to just reinforce it with some with a mesh, just so that it would guide us in terms of the direction that we're going in. The simple idea is that we're building the kitchen furniture first so that we have an outdoor kitchen. The idea is that I want to have an outdoor oven, a spit and pit. I also want to have a braai stand and a regular sort of kitchen with a sink. So just to explain what the structure basically does is that the clay acts as a binding agent and coats the sand, which gives us the structure. The tensile sort of strength comes from the straw, and that really just binds and brings everything together. The beautiful thing about cob is also how it will regulate the temperature of whatever building that you're going to have. So right now what we've been doing is sort of experimenting with the different quantities that we're going to be using, and eventually when we actually start doing the walls of the house, we will know the exact quantities that we need to be using at this particular point. This design process is quite a big departure from what I normally do. I would have done like 3D mock-ups, I would have done quite a lot, but because cob allows you to kind of freestyle and sort of feel your way around things, I pretty much just utilized like drawings on the ground and walked around to sort of measure the space. So we're just kind of feeling out the environment, and it's quite a nice material to use, quite therapeutic, to be honest.
So we spent the whole a whole day building our cob, setting up the cob structure that we're going to that we're working on. And after a few weeks of no rain at all, it's just started raining. So good thing we'd only done like just the bottom layer, so I don't think we're losing much in terms of structure. But we're gonna have to watch this rain system more closely. Oh, I'm happy for the plants. Not so happy about my kitchen right now. Okay, so it just rained, so we're just going to go check out what the situation is on the ground. Okay. Let's see. Did our cob survive? Probably can check it out in the morning as well. Wow, still standing. Still actually standing. The whole thing. Not even affected, not even one bit. But maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. But I'm very happy. I'm very happy. It's not even dry yet. Well, this is good. This is good news. This rural project has made us think about a lot of things. Thinking about the environment that we live in, which is very beautiful, the food that we eat, but also about the waste and what it is that we do with things that we, buy from the shops. What happens to the plastic bottles and, that kind of thing. So for our growing project, we're starting like an aquaponics system. Now, there's a lot of tutorials online of how to develop an aquaponics system with PVC piping and so on. But we decided to use some of the bottles and join them up together, seal them, and then put in pots to do the aquaponics. So, perforating them with like a hot copper pipe and then joining them together. And then this should see us build a little cool aquaponics system. We also decided to take some of our tomato seedlings that weren't doing too well and try out this other technique of putting them in plastic bottles like upside down so that the actual soil retains the water a lot better. We've started to see them curl up, which is a good sign that it's actually working. This COP thing has really been exciting, but it's also nice just on this property, there's always something to do. At the moment, I was just taking apart some of the equipment that we had from our camping gear that was broken and repurposing it to make a greenhouse for our planters, trying to find new ways of learning how to grow our food, but controlling the elements in the environment, like the water that they're getting, the amount of sunlight, and being able to retain a lot of that moisture that we're losing with this hot weather in Victoria Falls. Second day of rain, like we literally just waited and waited, and we're like, should we start building, should we start building, should we start building? And then here we are, second day of rain. Wow, that's weird. We give it a day off and it doesn't rain, and then when we start building it starts to rain.